All right, we're going to work on page 185. So I have 2/3 multiplied by 17 is less than, greater than, or equal to 17. Well, 2/3, I have to think about it. Is that less than, greater than, or equal to 1? Well, 2/3 is less than 1. So a number less than 17 will always be less than 17. So this is going to be less than 19/20. Wow, that is almost a whole, but it's still not a whole. So something less than something is always going to result in a product that is less. So less than 1 multiplied by 13 is still less than 13. 11/12 times 52 is what to 52 times 11/12? Well, this is exactly the same, just a different order. So equal to. All right, so we have 4 3/5 minus 2 1/2. First, we need to find a common denominator. So I need to count by 5s and count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So my common denominator is going to be 10. So I have 3/5 times something gives you 10. 5 times 2 is 10. What I do to the denominator, I do to the numerator. So 4 3/5 is equivalent to 4 6/10. Now I take half and I multiply it by something to get 10. So 2 times 5 is 10. So I have 2 5/10. I'm going to go ahead and subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. Denominator stays the same. 4 minus 2 is 2. Shade the rectangle to illustrate how you would fold the paper. 1/4 times 2/3. Well, this is already separated into thirds this way, so I'm going to shade 2/3. And I always like to use an opposite color when I go the other direction. It doesn't have to be a colored pencil, just something that you have handy. So that's 2/3, and then the other direction's already notched for fourths, so here's 1/4. Now, that's how I would shade it. So what's double shaded is our numerator, so 2, and the total pieces, if I were to count them up, would be my denominator. So 2 and 2/12, I can check that using multiplication. 1 times 2 is 2. 4 times 3 is 12. The table shows Chicago's typical monthly snow for several months. And it's reported in centimeters, and there is a number in the tenths place. Of the months shown, which has the greatest typical snowfall? So I want to look for my numbers in the tenths place. I have a 2, a 2, a 1, nothing here, and a 2. Well, this one with the 1 can go away. So now I need to look back behind. I have a 7, a 3, and a 1. Well, the 7 is our biggest number in the ones place with a 2 in the tens place. So January was the most snowfall with 27 4/10 of a centimeter of snow. And the least, well, we went through the tens place. So those those are bigger than something with nothing in the tens place. And November had nothing in the tens place. November only had a 1 in the tenths place. Sorry, in the ones place. So November is the least amount of snow. The graph below shows the number of garden tools needed for different numbers of groups participating in a gardening day. How many tools are needed if 4 groups participated? So this tells me number of tools. The x-axis tells me the number of groups. If 4 groups participate, it would be 20 tools. All right, we're going to add up these decimal numbers, but first I want to estimate with numbers easy to do in my head. So 110 plus 30 would be 140. So my answer needs to be close to 140. So I'm going to write my numbers nice and neatly. and line up my place values, not forgetting to include my decimal. Then I'm going to add and regroup when necessary, bring down my decimal, and get my answer of 140 and 77 hundredths, which is pretty awesome because that's almost exactly the estimate. So please make sure that you check your work, and if anything is incorrect, that you correct.